Are you good at dodging projectile attacks but struggle to keep your health topped off in a typical match? Are you killing that pyro consistently but keep dying to afterburn immediately after? Do you find yourself never pulling out your melee weapon in the first place as Scout but wish that weapon slot would still be of some use to you whatsoever? If you said yes to any of the following, I have the guide for you. How yinz doing? I'm Ian, and this is my TF2 How to Killstreak series, where we look at the best and worst that TF2 has to offer and I show you how to get a killstreak with it, because everything is a bad idea until it works. Today I've decided to get a little festive for the holidays and decided to cover the candy cane. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Everybody who lives here has to work for Santa Claus.
Has to, gets to!
The candy cane is crafted by combining a Killstreak and a pain train in the crafting menu. And while I don't know what kind of brand this thing is made from, I can tell you with the utmost certainty that it's not been FDA approved whatsoever.
It's full of lead.
As for its in-game stats, the candy cane makes it so that whenever you kill someone, they drop a small health pack upon their death. This health pack is identical to the ones you'll find on normal game maps, with the sole exception being that when a heavy picks this thing up at full health, it will not recharge their lunchbox item whatsoever. This benefit can be particularly useful when dealing with pyros, since after killing them you can use the health pack they drop to restore your health and put out the afterburn they inflicted on you. Which ironically makes this weapon actually better at dealing with pyros than the Sun on a Stick, which has a built-in damage reduction function from afterburn specifically to help deal with them. However, this benefit can also be a con, since enemy players can pick up the health packs before you, effectively healing from your own kills. You can also end up healing your own teammates through these small health packs, which will usually result in you dying immediately after because they're stealing health packs that you were relying on to keep yourself topped off. And for those of you who are wondering about medieval mode, since in that game mode players will drop health packs naturally upon death regardless if you have this weapon out, the answer is they'll actually drop 2 small health packs when they die. So if you are hoping to get medium health packs from killing enemies in medieval mode with this thing, I am sorry to inform you that that will not be happening. Please bear in mind that the health pack is not determined based on whether or not you killed them with the candy cane. The parameters on whether or not the player drops a health pack upon their death are honestly quite easy to explain. 1. Did you have the candy cane equipped when they died? And 2. Did you do the killing blow? It does not matter if that killing blow was caused by bleed from your flying guillotine, your scattergun, or if you shot them from across the map with a pistol. So long as you're the one that did the killing blow, that enemy's going to result in a health pack dropping when they die, making this the only weapon where scouts are completely justified in kill-stealing foes from other players. Interestingly, since the benefits of this weapon don't require you to have it pulled out whatsoever, it's also very useful for spy checking and seeing whether or not a spy is using the dead ringer, since if they use the dead ringer, they won't drop a health pack on their death, even if you killed them. However, despite the usefulness of the health packs, you will seldom see anyone using this weapon simply because the con is just so detrimental. And what is the con to this weapon, you might ask? 25% explosive vulnerability. And remember, just like the health packs dropping on kill, this damage vulnerability is active at all times, regardless if you have the candy cane deployed or not. Now I know what some of yins are thinking. Okay, so you take a little more damage from soldiers and demomen, but you can heal more easily, so what's the issue? Remember that Scout Be Gone joke from Lazy Purple's How It Feels to Play Soldier video?
Bang! Bang! Try Scout Be Gone! Just one shot from Scout Be Gone will eradicate all those pesky household scouts. Bang! Bang! I love you, Scout Be Gone! Go ahead! Build a mini-sentry, I dare you.
Yeah, that applies to every single rocket launcher except the rocket jumper and Liberty launcher now. And the same problem applies with Demoman and their grenade launcher. And I know some of you are wondering to yourself, why don't you just get good and learn to dodge projectiles? And to that I simply ask, if I could dodge projectiles that efficiently to the point where this downside was a nothing stat, why would I need a weapon to heal myself with whatsoever? I wouldn't be taking damage at that point. And that's kind of the paradoxical issue this weapon has. If you're really good at playing Scout, the plus side is this kind of a nothing stat because you'll rarely take damage in the first place. Meanwhile, if you're average or bad at the game, you're probably not going to get a lot of mileage out of the pro anyway, simply because, well, have you seen TF2's player base? Soldier mains are like the basic bitch of class mains in this game. I think Soundsmith put it best in his Stereotypes video. You either main soldier or you have him in your back pocket so you can switch to him if you need to. As a result, you will only ever see two kinds of players actually using this weapon in pubs. New players who just got it from a random drop and don't know what it does, and players trying to force their muscle memory into learning how to dodge better. And as a training tool, this weapon isn't actually the worst thing ever. After all, failure is an excellent teacher for most people, and having a weapon that effectively forces you to fail whenever you take a direct hit from a soldier or demo man will help you learn how to dodge direct hits from soldiers and demo men a lot faster than other weapons would. When it comes to what weapons to use alongside the candy cane, honestly, when it comes to secondaries, you have very few wrong answers. The pistols are great if you want a ranged form of damage, the flying guillotine can be fun times at all times, the milk can help you if you're trying to double down on the healing factor, and the Criticola is the only weapon I would advise strongly against using alongside the candy cane. Not only is the combined sugar content of these two weapons so massive that my grandfather's secret chocolate stash looks comically small in comparison, but the damage vulnerability received from the Criticola will make you so frail that basically a stiff breeze will kill you if the enemy's using explosives whatsoever. When it comes to primaries, you don't have any particularly strong synergies with the candy cane whatsoever. The only weapons that have any noteworthy synergy with the candy cane are the soda popper and the short stop. The soda popper and its hype meter can give you some extra jumps that can be useful at avoiding direct hits from explosives, otherwise it's really nothing to write home about. The short stop, on the other hand, becomes a bit paradoxical when used alongside the candy cane, in that, in order to get the best damage out of the short stop, you want to be a safe distance away from your enemies. However, enemies drop health packs on their death, meaning you're encouraged to run up to their corpses when they die. This can result in you getting tunnel visioned on the health pack your opponent dropped only to get picked off by one of their teammates. And for those of you wondering about getting kills with the candy cane directly, it's just a reskin of stock aside from the whole damage vulnerability from explosives and dropping health packs on the kill. As a result, I don't really recommend using this thing as a primary form of damage whatsoever. It's just something you pull out when you don't have time to reload your weapons whatsoever. All in all, I give the candy cane a learning tool out of 10. That's what this thing is, really. A tool for you to learn how to dodge projectiles the hard way. And it's good at that. However, once you get good at learning how to dodge projectiles, the benefits of this weapon are simply outclassed by Scout's alternative melee options, and thus you will pretty much never see it being used for the most part. Occasionally, you might see a Scout switch to it when they're just hellbent on dealing with that one annoying pyro that's WM1ing them to death, but otherwise, this is a rare sight in pubs. That's all for now, though. Like the video if you did, subscribe if you don't want to miss the next one. I've been Ian, and this has been my TF2 How to Killstreak guide to the candy cane. And stay tuned, the gas passer is coming up next.